So in this episode we are going to learn about past continuous. This is one of the important concepts in English language, and we are going to learn what is past continuous and how to use it. Now before teaching you past continuous, let me give you the structure of the sentence. Take any subject and you know what a subject is. First person, second person and third person. First person I and we, second person you, third person he, she, it, they, singular or plural name. After that you have to take was or were. Since we are learning past continuous, we have to take was and were, then you take ing form of the verb. This is the structure. Now you may ask me, why do we have was and were two? Why not only one? The reason is, if the subject is I or he, she, it or any singular name, what is common among these five people?
Singular.
They are all singular. So therefore, we need to keep was, of course, followed by ing form. Now, who are the other people who are left out now?
We,
We, you, they, and any plural noun, children. They are all plural forms. So they need were plus ing form. So this is called structure. Remember, whenever you are learning English language, you have to learn what is the sentence structure. So grammar says subject, this is subject, and this is was and were, this is ing form. This is the structure, and this can be used in four ways. What are those four ways? I shall show you now. You can use in positive and negative statement, positive and negative question. I will show you what those four forms are. He was waiting. This is called positive statement. When I want to make it negative, I say he was not waiting. This is negative statement. Now coming to the question form, was he waiting? The negative question you can ask in two ways. The short form is wasn't he waiting, or you can say was he not waiting. So would you mind repeating these four forms loudly, all of you?
Yes, sir. He was waiting. He was not waiting. Was he waiting? Wasn't he waiting?
So we have to read these four forms loudly a number of times by replacing this ing form with different types of verbs. Because whenever we learn any foreign language, apart from your mother tongue, it can be Hindi, Telugu or Urdu, these are your mother tongues. Apart from mother tongue, when you are learning French or Spanish or German or English, any language, remember we have to train the tongue. Because if it is botany, chemistry, biology or zoology, computer science, you need to apply only mind. Silently you can learn. But when you are learning a language, you have to involve the tongue, because tongue should be trained. So you need lot of oral drilling. So you have to collect different types of ing forms, keep them here and keep on making four forms. Now these are the four forms for the word was. If I keep were, it will be the same. We change the subject, they were waiting. Now tell me, what is the negative form?
They were not
They
waiting.
were not waiting.
Were they waiting?
Were they waiting?
Weren't they waiting?
Yes. Weren't they waiting?
Were they not waiting?
Yes. Could you please repeat all of you together? All the four forms?
They
They
were
were
waiting.
waiting.
They
They were
were
not
not
waiting.
waiting.
Were
Were
they
they waiting?
waiting? Weren't
Weren't
they
they
waiting?
waiting?
Or were
Were
they
they
not
not
waiting?
waiting?
These are the forms for the verb were. Now I'll tell you where and when to use it. So we use this to talk about some action which was happening temporarily in the past at specific time. Something meaning some action was happening in the past. Naturally, we are learning past continuous, so it was happening in the past temporarily at specific time. For example, look at this sentence. When you came home, I was watching TV. So I came home and at that time you were doing this one. So this was already going on temporarily at this particular time. When you came home, I was watching TV. When the teacher entered the classroom, students were talking. So which action was already going on? Students were talking, that was going on. When that action was going on, teacher entered the classroom. Now, I'll give you one clue. Accident, you were waiting for the bus. Make an example. You were at the bus stop expecting an RTC bus to come there. Some accident took place. Now put these two things together and make one sentence.
When I was waiting for a bus, one accident took place.
Very good. When I was waiting at the bus stop, an accident took place. Can anybody give one such example, one similar example like this?
When I was attending class, I received a call.
Very good. When I was attending the class, when I was writing the notes, when I was listening to my teacher, I received a phone call. What about you? Can you give one example? Relatives came home, you slept. Put these two things together. Relatives came home, you slept. It is like this. When my uncle came, I was sleeping. When my uncle came, I was sleeping. So this is one of the common ways of using past continuous. Normally past continuous is used along with one simple past action. For example, she was reading the novel when power went off. So she was reading the novel when power went off. He was talking to the doctor when I called him. So this is simple past, this is past continuous. So this is a common combination of using past continuous along with one simple past. Apart from this, we can also use it in a way where we use two past continuous sentences. It is like this. Parents were working hard in the field while their baby was crawling on the ground. So the daily wage laborers' parents, they were working hard in the field. At the same time, simultaneously, the baby was crawling on the ground. While the priest was chanting the slokas, the devotees were offering flowers. So two actions were going on simultaneously. Priest was chanting the slokas and devotees were offering flowers. So this is another combination where we use past continuous twice. Can you try to give at least one example like this?
While I was driving car, she was looking at me.
Fine.
When I was going to home,
Some people were taking out a rally. When the teacher was dictating the answer, some boys were talking and disturbing others. Fine. Now, if you want to become good at this structure, the secret is this one. Because subject, whether you are an LKG student or a professor, all of us use the same subjects. I, we, you, he, she, it, that is limited. This is limited. And all of us use was and were, this is limited. But whereas ing forms, they are unlimited. Your progress always depends on ing forms. If you have 100 ing forms, you can make only 100 examples. If you have 1000 ing forms in your vocabulary, you can make 1000 examples. More than 1000, 10,000, 50,000, you can make more and more sentences. So if you want to make large number of sentences for this particular category, you need large number of ing forms. So you have to develop the habit of reading a good newspaper, watching news channels, programs on TV channels, and reading novels, story books. Keep on collecting new ing forms and make own sentences. The secret of learning English language, not only English or any language, is don't do any grammar related exercises. Always develop the habit of making own sentences. Just go back to your past. How did we learn mother tongue? Did we do any exercises in Telugu or Hindi or Urdu? No. We picked up mother tongue by making own sentences. For that, what did we do? Which part of our body did we use more? Ear. We went on listening. When the baby is in the womb of the mother, the baby starts listening. Listen, 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 and when we reach 3, maybe 3 or sometimes 2.5 or 3 or 3.5, then we start uttering the words. But we never did any grammar exercises, we never read any book, we never wrote anything. We used the ear, then we started using the tongue. The same logic is applicable for all the languages in the world. All that we need is some patience, dedication and commitment. Mostly we need patience. We need patience to listen. We should be good at listening. Unfortunately, we are in hurry. We want to learn too many things at short time, within a short time. That's why we try to select some wrong methods. It is a misconception to think that if I do too many exercises by keeping bundles and bundles of grammar books in front of me, we never become good at communication. We become good at grammar. If you are going to write a written test where there are questions on fill in the blanks, match the following, correct the following sentences, or convert positive to negative, negative to positive, definitely you should do grammar exercises. But if your purpose is to talk spontaneously, what do you mean by spontaneously?
Instant, immediate.
Instantly, good, without any preparation, then and there, extempore. If you talk, that is called spontaneous. When you want to talk spontaneously, the way we talk in mother tongue, when you want to talk fluently, the way we talk in mother tongue, you do not develop the habit of doing exercises, because scientifically when you are doing exercises, are you using pen or tongue? Which part are you using? pen, then where is the scope to train the tongue? You are not involving the tongue. Whereas if you make own sentences, you will be involving
tongue as
tongue. So that's why orally make own sentences. And if you think that you are losing your energy, make own sentences orally, record them on your smartphone, cell phone if it has a good recording feature, then keep on listening to it for 2-3 days or maybe for 1 week. When you become familiar, delete that file, record another 10, 15 or 50 or 100 sentences. This is the best and the ideal way of learning the language. Now, I will give you some ing forms. Please try to make own sentences with them. Very simple ing forms. Driving. Make a sentence.
My father was driving a car.
My father was driving a car. Fine. Cooking.
they were cooking food.
That's all. Watering.
I am watering.
No, we are learning past continuous.
The gardener was watering the plant.
The gardener was watering the plants. Fine.
I was waiting for the bus.
Very good. I was waiting for the bus.
She was swimming in the pool.
Right. Arguing. Arguing.
They were arguing.
They were arguing. Fine.
I was listening to Hindi music.
Right. Classroom, teacher.
My teacher was correcting my notes.
Right. Again, classroom, teacher.
The teacher was explaining the topic.
Good. So, I am giving you ing forms, and what are you doing? You are selecting a subject of your choice and you are adding was and were according to the number, and you are making the sentences. Did you do any grammar exercise now?
No, sir.
So, make that point. ing forms are available in any grammar book. They are available on internet. Collect them. Of course, you should try to know the meaning. If you come across any new ing form which you haven't seen before, for example, eavesdropping. Eavesdropping meaning secretly listen to others talk without their knowledge. When suppose your boss and his clients are talking in the office, you wait outside near the window and secretly you listen. That is called eavesdropping. Similarly, sulking. For example, your father shouted at your little younger sister. That girl is not talking to anybody and she is sitting in some corner not eating anything. She is expressing her anger, protest silently. That is called sulking. So, you have to know the meaning, you have to know the pronunciation, and afterwards straight away start making sentences. And when you make sentence, you have to remember one more point. I was going, I was coming, I was reading, I was standing, they were learning, they were fighting. Instead of making with only 3 parts, try to add something more to the right side of the ing form, so that you develop the habit of making long sentences. For example, he was reading. Please expand this sentence, add something here.
He was reading, which was
He was reading a book. Fine. I want one more word. What is suitable for reading? Loudly. In the library. To know the meaning. So, how are we expanding the sentence? You please observe. When the ing form is the last word, when the verb is the last word, you have the choice of adding a noun. Make it a habit to expand it, so that you develop the sentence formation skill. You can add one adverb, you can add a prepositional phrase, or you can add 2 plus base form, we call it to infinitive. By this what happens? You are growing. Otherwise, like a small schoolboy, we will be coming, we will be saying bus is coming, train is going, this is a book, that is a dog. In the beginning they are good, but as you grow, develop the habit of making long, longer and longest sentences. So, I hope I was clear in this concept. So please keep on collecting ING forms and make own sentences. Let me tell you, orally, not with pen and book, but orally, use your tongue. Okay? So in the next class, we shall learn about some other topic. Wish you all the best. Have a great time.
Thank you, sir.
Now, listen to two friends discussing some important issue.
Hi Varsha,
Hi Manasi.
you look very agitated. What's wrong?
I am very agitated. You won't believe what all I had to do to get my phone back from my brother. I mean, literally, you won't believe what all I had to do.
What was your brother doing? Was he playing games?
Obviously, he was playing games. He was keeping score. I'm like, please give me my phone. I have to put an alarm. I have to sleep. Give it to me. He was like, no, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. What will you do in 5 more minutes? What, you will achieve something in a game? I requested him so many times. I was like, please give it to me, please give it to me. And then I started little more, you know, getting aggressive. Will you give it to me or should I call mummy? He was like, 5 more minutes, akka nenu ichchestanu, 5 more minutes. Finally, I ended up telling that I will help you with your homework, and then I got my phone back.
This is not a story only you're facing. Every one of us probably face it. Even I have younger brothers and sisters, relatives, cousins who behave the same way, you know. It's becoming a trend nowadays, how children use cell phones.
True, they're just getting addicted to the cell phones.
I think we should talk about that, the children and cell phones issue. It's becoming a big major theme nowadays.
Let us make everybody aware that
so
how bad our cell phones.
First of all, I think we should make it, you know, make it a statement. It is not wrong to use a cell phone.
It is not wrong.
Yeah, because nowadays with technology becoming more advanced and more commercial, everyone has some sort of device and everybody has a phone. Young people to elder people, everyone uses a cell phone because it is a medium of communication. It
has to be used as a medium of communication, not a way to trouble your elder sister. And cell phones are not meant for children. I think we should enlighten more on that fact.
Yeah, children should be, as in, see, first of all, let's look at it. If children use cell phones, we'll look at both what's good and bad.
Exactly.
Okay, so first of all, it is good for children to use cell phones or only for a few reasons. First of all, there are a lot of games nowadays in Play Store and iPhones and even Google Play Store, which are good for the brain. So they are like mind games, mind
like
puzzles.
puzzle games.
Puzzle games are good.
Those are interesting.
Yeah, if children play few of those puzzle games, not for a long time, just maybe 10 to 15 minutes in a day, that is sufficient. If they play those games, it is improving their brain activity, it is making them think.
Logical analysis
ways,
is going on.
Reasoning, all those kind of things is good. And also it is a nice way sometimes to pass time. But there are a lot of negatives also.
Exactly.
See, we don't understand the power of that cell phone. Now, I'm not talking about you're able to talk to someone so far away or that it is technology so great. I'm not talking like that. I'm saying this, the fact that we have a cell phone, why do we all have a cell phone? Because instead of having a camera, a phone and a music player, we have everything in one device.
True, and we have our social networking, our media also available over here.
Everything is available in one device. So it is
True.
a power-packed electronic device.
Exactly.
So danto konni disadvantages aithe tappakunda vastayi. First of all, the screen is small.
It is small.
Right. So it is not good for us to keep looking at that small screen for very long.
It will strain our eyes,
It will strain our eyes. Even for adults, we are asked to not look at the screen for very long. For children, it is even worse. For example, when you came, I was reading this book. Now this book is it is also a small book, but it is decent size.
It is decent size.
And normally, everybody is recommended to keep whatever it is, whether it is a book or a newspaper or a phone, at a minimum of 25 centimeters from the eyes.
Almost a foot.
Almost a foot. That is
distance.
a comfortable length. So I was reading the book at this length.
And the font size also, I see, it is comfortable enough for your eye to read.
It is not very small, exactly. So the font size is decent. I'm keeping at a good distance. So it is good for my eyes. It is exercising my eyes. But if you take this phone, give the phone, let me show you. What is the difference between this and this? How big is this and how small is this?
And the font size in that phone is even
much
smaller.
more smaller.
It is even smaller.
If the font size becomes small, I have to bring the phone closer to my eyes to be able to read it. And when I bring it closer, the screen brightness, the font size, everything is putting so much of strain on my eyes.
Exactly.
That I have to put extra effort to read something which is much easier to read like in a book.
In a book.
So it's not healthy for the eyes, that small screen and the brightness.
Exactly.
And one more thing, in phones there is a radiation which is always there.
There's
When
an
we-
electromagnetic field around that we
Yeah.
are not aware of, and neither the children are aware of it.
Science students will understand that field, that radiation is very poisonous. It is something that we don't even understand is making a difference.
Exactly.
We don't know, but that radiation is actually affecting our brain. And over multiple years of using a phone and always holding one in our hands, that radiation is affecting our brain, it is affecting our body, and even for adults, it works the same way.
Exactly, there are a lot of health issues that are being raised by excessive usage of a mobile phone.
Exactly.
If you are not able to understand the very basic example that we all witness, the best thing is your phone gets heated up.
Yeah.
We don't understand the reason or the cause of it. It is because of the excessive usage of it and the electromagnetic field around it. It
That
creates that
radiation.
kind of heat in the device itself, and you will know how seriously it is causing a damage.
But the problem is, Varsha, we cannot explain this to our younger brothers and sisters.
no, we can't.
They will not understand it at all.